94 days until Halloween, and last night I watched John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness. Now I'm going to talk about it.
This is not a dream. Not a dream. We are using your brain's electrical system as a receiver. We are unable to transmit through conscious neural interference. You are receiving this broadcast as a dream.
He's gaining strength.
Suppose there is a universal mind controlling everything.
I've got a message for you, and you're not going to like it.
Look at his chest.
Ready for death.
Alright, so I had this whole idea that I was going to do 100 Nights of Halloween, but it ended up being the hottest day of the year and our air conditioning fails, so it became impossible. I'm not even sure if I'll be able to do a video review of every single movie we watch, but we will be watching a movie each night, or at least I will be watching a movie each night while I'm working on paintings and other projects. Anyhow, Prince of Darkness, John Carpenter's second movie in his self-proclaimed Apocalypse trilogy. The first being the 1982 cult classic The Thing, and the last being 1994's In the Mouth of Madness. Now, the first thing when you watch this movie, you might notice a lot of things that resemble his previous movie, Big Trouble in Little China, including actors Victor Wong and Dennis Dun. Also, lots of camera effects and angles and shots and stuff. Now, although Big Trouble in Little China was kind of a flop at the box office, it became a huge cult classic. I mean, I love the movie. But because it was such a flop, Carpenter had to return to his low-budget roots and back to his horror roots. He has a unique way of telling a story in a very 80s kind of way, in a very cheesy, campy kind of bravado that lets you know that you are watching a movie. You're here to be entertained. There's something unique about this movie, as most of Carpenter's movies, where things are kind of left up to interpretation.
And what we can learn about them. We believe nature is solid and time a constant. Matter has substance and time a direction.
Carpenter's love of science led to the story idea involving quantum mechanics and the crossroads of science and religion. He had become fascinated with quantum uncertainty after reading several books on the subject, but he felt it was impossible to explain. It was all mumbo-jumbo anyway. It was just a horror movie, he says. He was becoming really interested in quantum theory and entanglement and atomic theory and stuff like that. He began to play with the idea of a type of anti-god, like antimatter, and this evil type of entity being dark matter or something of the sort. Not explained, but still left up to interpretation. Now, the screenplay was written by Carpenter himself, although in the credits it's listed as Martin Quatermass, which is an homage to Professor Bernard Quatermass, who is the lead character in the Quatermass Experiment. Okay, so the basic story is this. A priest, Donald Pleasance, aka Dr. Loomis from Halloween, he kind of almost sounds like Sir Alec Guinness. Like if you close your eyes, you feel like he's channeling Obi-Wan from beyond the grave. Or maybe that's just me. Discovers a secret that's been locked in a creepy church basement in the form of a swirling green liquid. So basically, this is a movie about a lava lamp. But it's an evil lava lamp. The priest reaches out to a local college professor, Victor Wong, aka Egg Shen from Big Trouble in Little China, who assembles a crack team of students and scientists, including Dennis Dun, aka Wang from Big Trouble in Little China, for a slumber party of sorts, while they analyze the substance. It's already extremely freaky, even before the thing starts leaking. You'll also notice in the movie Peter Jason, who makes his first appearance in a Carpenter film, but will go on to star in a whole slew of Carpenter films, including In the Mouth of Madness, They Live, Village of the Damned, and a couple others, I think, Ghosts of Mars and Ghosts of Mars. The executive producer of the film was Step Gordon, who is also the manager of legendary rock star Alice Cooper, who you may or may not know is a huge horror fan himself. He was originally just to do a cameo and a song for the soundtrack, but ended up getting written in as the lead homeless zombie that's protecting the church. The plot gets a little confusing when the physicists and priests who hired them start debating the concept of Satan coming from a negative realm of antimatter, where there is some kind of polar opposite god in wait, trying to cross over. Basically, the kids get possessed, the unpossessed ones fight to survive. So, basically, Satan is the son of the anti-god. Jesus was a member of a human-like alien race. Mirrors can be used as portals between dimensions. A secret Catholic sect called the Brotherhood of Sleep has been covering up all this info for centuries. And so, like I said before, this film was not accepted well by the critics. And I think that has a lot to do with how much it's left to interpretation. Carpenter's movies do have this 80s cheesy kind of bravado to them. But if you learn to see that only as a style or aesthetic to telling a story or making a movie, you can understand why it works so well for the fans. It's not all spelled out. It strikes up conversation. It makes you feel uncomfortable while still maintaining a campy kind of quality Carpenter's movies are known for. Reminding you that you are watching a movie, and for the most part to be entertained. To not take it too serious, but at the same time raise questions and discussions about what the film meant or what it was trying to say. I personally enjoyed this movie. I remember renting it when I was in junior high school. A friend spent the night and we went to the local video store and we watched it late at night and we got all freaked out by it because it wasn't just like a regular slasher flick where, okay, there's a bad guy out there killing people. This was like something that was a lot different than most horror movies, and it kind of created this unexplainable kind of essence to it that made it mysterious and spooky. Although it's, an 80s movie, if you look at it with today's standards, you might not appreciate it, but it's a great movie. And when it came out, it was hugely underrated. And so I'm glad I went back and watched this movie. It's been a while since I've seen it. I don't think I've watched it in probably 20 years. But yeah, if you get the chance, watch this movie. If you haven't watched this movie, watch The Thing first. And then it's not like these are some stories told in order or anything. I think he just calls that his Apocalypse trilogy because in some kind of way they're connected. I'm not really sure how, but anyhow, that's going to do it for today. The first movie review in the bag, 94 days until Halloween. Tomorrow, or tonight rather, I'm going to be watching In the Mouth of Madness, also by John Carpenter, number 3 in his Apocalypse trilogy. And hopefully, if time allows, I'll be able to do a review of that. If not, still got all the other videos on the channel to look forward to. So that's going to do it for today. Thank you for watching. As always, please click like, share, subscribe, and all of that stuff. And we will catch you on the flippy flip. Peace.